Hey everyone, this is Jonathan. I haven't been really putting many videos out lately, but I do plan on doing some gardening videos whenever I get my garden set up. But I just received my seeds and I wanted to go over all the seeds that I got and show everybody what I'm planning on doing if I can actually do it. And yeah, that's what I'm about to do. So let me kind of try to figure out somewhere to set this camera down at so that it'll pick it up. But maybe I'll put it right here in my kitchen. There, now I can kind of see if I'm in the picture. Nope, not in the picture yet. Now it's on top of the sugar. Nope, sugar's not in the drawer. Nope, not gonna cooperate with me. In the oven? On the oven. Ha! Oven. Cock-sided on the oven it is. I just got my seeds in from So True. So it's called So and True Seeds, but here it says So True Seeds, which makes more sense. But the actual name of the company is So and True Seed. And they're a worker-owned cooperative that operates out of Asheville, North Carolina. And so I was trying to find a good seed company that I could put some money into, even though I can technically go and get free seeds. But I wanted to get some seeds that aren't at Walmart, that aren't like corporate seeds, that are like actual seeds that are actually grown by real people in their yards, and this company pays them to grow seed and they get the seed sent to them and they package it. So it's open pollinated. It's not controlled pollinated at a corporate like farm somewhere or whatever, how they do it in a lab, or I don't know how they do it anymore. But I know that you can do it in like a greenhouse. You got to put certain plants together and modify it. I just saw a video the other day about how they do it. I didn't realize this, but they just have a gun that they actually aim the gun at the plant they're going to inject the genetic material, and it's like a little golden bullet. And I was like, wow, it's a golden bullet. Isn't that funny? Gold. You know, you're like, what? Why does it have to be gold? And then you find out gold isn't, I didn't even know this. Like, if you put gold in your body, it's not toxic. I feel like I've been told that gold was toxic to consume. But no, like, and then that brings my brain back to like medieval alchemy and people like eating gold and like mercury and shit like that. And I'm like, were they really doing something bad? Or like today, are we just being told things in a circle that they don't even know are real or not, like what's true or not true? Like, we go, science said that, and then 10 years later a study comes out that's like debunks everything that was science, as if science is like a settled thing. But I'm about to open my seeds up, and yeah, here we go. Let's see how this looks. These are like supposed to be some really cool seed packets. Let's see what I got going on here. Oh yeah. Let's see what I got here. Alright, let's see what these are like. Let me go through each one of these. I'm just going to upload this whole video. I don't care how crazy it looks. I got my amaranth, golden giant amaranth, lemon mint bee balm flower. It's also medicinal, and it's good to bring pollinators around. I got Early Wonder beet seeds. I love these animations on the front. They're actually hand-drawn animations. And they have the artists featured on their webpage. So that's pretty cool. And some of these are really nice animation, really nice pictures on here. I'll probably end up keeping these. Like, the Swiss chard picture is really cool. Like, Swiss chard. Rainbow blend. It's like where it comes in yellow and red and like albino chard and green with yellow stripes, and it's really pretty. And it grows good in my yard. I've grown great Swiss chard. The secret that I found the Swiss chard is, and I don't know about any other green, but I find that if you start the Swiss chard in a large pot and just let it sit in that pot until it gets to about 3 feet tall, and when it's in that pot, you take it outside and you sit it in very dappled shade with like afternoon sun. I put it on the left hand side of my, like the side of my steps on the front porch where it gets afternoon sun but not morning sun, and it did great. You know, it grew, it did fine. But then when I finally took it and put it in my raised bed, that whole piece, I mean, I started getting leaves that were the size of my arm coming off of that thing, just because I think it was wanting to grow so much, and finally it was able to do so. Let me go ahead to the next one. I got my trademark, my tomatillos. The tomatillos, green tomatillo seeds. Physalis ixocarpa. And let's the next one. The next one is, ooh, the German chocolate. These giant brownish black tomatoes. Huge tomatoes. German chocolate slicing tomato. This tomato has an unknown history, but our grower got it from a farmer near Charleston, South Carolina. Large tomato with a rich chocolate color. Very sweet flavor. Some drought tolerance. Small farm grown by Madrona Farm in Petersham, Massachusetts. So cool. The picture of that was outrageous. I was like, I was looking for a black tomato, like the pineapple tomatoes. Like if you look up a pineapple tomatoes are beautiful. They're like light yellow and they're giant. They're the size of actual, like, I'm sure some of them probably do get the size of actual pineapples, but the one I had was like this. I mean, you could put it in both of your hands, and I grew like 5 or 6 of them that summer. But I only found that plant at a flea market, because this lady was there selling rare tomato plants that she had already. They were just like little sprouts and stuff, and I was like, wow, look at all these cool tomatoes. And I bought, there's these ones that are like dynamite. They're called like dynamite baby tomatoes or mini tomatoes, or so I can't remember. Nuclear, that's what they were called. Nuclear tomatoes. They were very good. And they grew very well and prolifically. And then I got this one. This one was a orange one I found, Dr. Weiss slicing tomato, that I'm going to try to grow instead. But it was very similar looking to the pineapple. And I got my, the Northern Georgia Candy Roaster Winter Squash. I'm going to try a different kind of winter squash. This one is supposed to be really sweet, and it stores well. This one says it heirloom early 1900 Appalachian variety. Banana-shaped fruits are delicious in sweet or savory dishes. Fruits reach 8 to 12 pounds and about 18 inches long. Be sure to cure your winter squash for storage. I'll have to look up how to do that. I don't know that one yet. Oh, here's another favorite of mine. Lacinato kale, which is dinosaur kale. That's kale that grows into like a giant tree, but beautiful leaves on this stuff. They get giant too. And they're really not good for like cooking, but they make great smoothies. Like kale smoothies, like the color of the juice that comes out of these things is beautiful green. And they're just wonderful look. They're just giant, cool looking plants that grow huge. And then when the flowers come out, they have like these little yellow flowers, and you wouldn't believe it, but they actually bring a lot of pollinators. So I always let mine go to seed and continue to eat the bad or, you know, not so good greens that come off of them, because to me they're always bitter. I mean, there's never, they say that when you let them go through a freeze or something, that it makes them sweeter, and I never get the sweetness. I'm like, it just tastes like a green to me, y'all. Greens don't taste good. I eat them because they're good for me. I don't dislike the flavor, but I don't sit there and I'm like, I'm a kale aficionado and I taste the sweetness from my kale. And I never tasted the sweetness. But here's one that I'm getting to add to my... I might actually try to make mustard with it, but I really got it to add into my pickling jar, the seeds into my pickling jar, black mustard. But it says here you can make actual mustard with the seeds from this. So that's gonna be interesting. Here's a good flower I've been wanting to get for years. Borage. And this flower right here is special because it's also a legume. And it is a nitrogen fixer and improves the soil that it grows into. So I'm going to add that here and there everywhere in my garden, in between plants and such, to give it a little boost. I got some cabbage. I'm going to try to grow some red cabbage. I really don't like cabbage too much. But I do find that the red cabbage is good. It stores very long compared to the normal cabbage because of the anthocyanins and the color of it. And I just need to start eating it because I know those anthocyanins are good, period, for you. Antioxidants. So I'm going to try eating this with my potato. I'm going to make some, boil it and try to use it in my tacos as a taco topping instead of lettuce. It's really good for that, actually. And I bet this would actually be good if I were to chop it up and make like sauerkraut or some kind of ferment with it too. It would be good for that. So that's what I'm going to try with this. And we got, cilantro. Good old cilantro. Hey, the camera's trying to track their face. That's pretty cool. But that's a good little picture. Get that so I can make me some good salsa. I know I don't have any red tomatoes right now, but you don't need a red tomato. I'll make it with any of those tomatoes. Will be good to make salsa with. And I already got pepper seeds. I saved pepper seeds from the store. So I feel it's stupid because you cut them and they just 1,000 seeds fall out of each pepper. So like, why wouldn't you save those seeds? Like, and they grow fine. I had middling results. The fruits that come out of them are like a little smaller, but I don't know if that's just not my soil. But I'm definitely gonna try it and fully go into my garden this year and make sure I put all the water it needs and all the amendments and everything. Every time I'm supposed to go do something, I actually go do it, and I don't sit there and be like, oh, it's too hot, I'm not going outside today. Well, the plants are feeling like it's too hot too, and then you just killed your plants, even though you think that they'll be okay another day. Yeah, they might be okay, but now you've messed up your entire harvest. Because it's behind now. It's behind on nutrients, and you got to stay on top of that stuff. And that doesn't mean that if you miss a day, you give up. That means that you try to stay on top of it, and if you don't, you kick yourself in the butt and get back out there again. Even if you got to be late for work or something, you got to get out there and make sure that those things are watered. And that has been my biggest problem, is watering consistently and evenly. Here's my pickling cucumbers. Now hopefully my dill very next thing is dill. Dill bouquet for adding to my jars of fermented pickling cucumbers. And then we got the classic Black Beauty eggplant. Try to grow some eggplants. I heard they're actually really hard to grow, and even if you do grow them, they never grow as big as they're supposed to unless you are perfect with them. So I'm going to try to do good on these this year. See what happens with them. Really, I think that these are supposed to be planted later on, like closer to the summertime, but I'll see. No? It says the same thing. Need at least 1 inch of water a week. Harvest fruits when skin is shiny. We'll see. And then I got here, the last thing. These are 4 o'clocks, broken colors. And what these are is, I don't know why my mom decided she wanted to get these, but they're actually flowers that open at night, in the afternoon and going into the night, and stay open all night and close during the day. Which I know she didn't really realize that she was getting that. She didn't read it. She just thought it was very beautiful because it's a beautiful plant, the beautiful flower in the picture. But this is going to actually be very helpful for my garden because it's going to draw new pollinators that I didn't have before into the garden at a new time. Because it draws bottle power. It blooms open in the late afternoon and stays open all night. Hummingbirds and night flying moths love them. So those moths are going to come by. Well, and then now I'm thinking about it, I know that some moths lay eggs that are actually parasites and pests to plants, but I still have to take that chance just because they'll eat they'll pollinate for me. And then I'm going to have to just go back behind it and stay on my amendments for my pest control, which is going to be the biggest hardship of me doing, is because I don't have the proper amendments for the Jadam or the Korean style farming that I've been doing with all my other amendments, and I don't have the proper amendments for the pest control portion of those things. So I might have to see if I can't get that from some other source, or maybe I can make it before it's really time to get out there. Ooh, I've almost knocked this over. Whoops. Okay, we're good. All right. And here's my little it's like a little thing for like a gardening class that they're gonna give me 20% off. And yeah, unfortunately that's not me. My garden class was the YouTube school. And a lot of arguing in the comments section and among people and trying things out and hearing in the comments section that the Jadam fertilizers, the fermented soil-based fertilizers don't work. They don't do anything. They rot your garden, etc., etc., etc. And while I have had mixed results in actually getting fruits to come off of my plants, I mean, for the past 5 years, I've probably gotten 1 or 2 good harvests. Other than that, it's just like the tomatoes. I'm always grabbing green tomatoes at the end of the season. They hadn't even fully grown into the tomato hood yet. And it's not because there's not a lot of tomatoes. There's a lot of green tomatoes. I mean, I made a lot of fried green tomatoes. Because even, like they say, you can sit them on the table and they'll ripen. Well, that's not quite true, because I set them on the table and they rot from the inside out. They're not like, I wash them and everything and sit them up on top of that air conditioner right there in the sun, and we'll try to let them ripen, and they'll just develop a spot, and then that spot will just collapse and the whole thing will rot. And this happens within 3 or 4 days on all these organic tomatoes. So I've got to figure out a way to where I can get the tomatoes. I'm really considering doing the Amish method, where you get a box and you get a bunch of just ashes from like a hardwood fire, and then you pack the tomatoes in the ashes. And supposedly you just take them out as you need them, wash them off, and all that dryness around them from those ashes supposedly keeps them from rotting. Which seems like a good idea to me. I mean, whatever, I'll try anything to keep those things from rotting, because I done went for years trying to getting good tomato harvest, having to pull them at the end of the year because I'm a lazy gardener. And for last year I had so much drama and trauma going on in my life. I lost my job. That was the biggest thing. I lost my job, my source of income, and I had all kind of personal things going on and relationship things going on and all kind of different things going on, and it just made me so I was just so freaked out. And now this isn't even last year. I don't think I've made a video on my channel in a whole year, like over a year. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look. But yeah, this has just been a long, crazy rant, and I hope that somebody listens to it to the end. But any ideas you have, I'm going to be coming and showing you my my raised beds. I'm going to show you what I've done with my bushes, and kind of take you around at some point and show you my vision of what I plan to do this year in the garden. And I've actually got to get started on it pretty soon. Let me turn this around. I've got right here some leaf mold I collected before I used it in my compost at the beginning of the So what I'll do with that is here soon, in the next couple of days, I'll show you that too. I'm going to make some Jadam microbial solution with that leaf mold. And pretty much what that is you get potatoes, and you take your potatoes and you mash them up. You add it to a big bucket of water with some of that leaf mold in it, and you let it sit and you let it ferment. And you let it ferment for like a day, 2 days, maybe 3, sometimes 4 days, depending on the temperature. But then this foam starts appearing on the top of the bucket from microbial activity, from CO2, from oxygen releasing, all kind of different things going on in that fluid. And then by the time you're done, that bacteria that was in the leaf mold has grown into the whole water. And then what you do is you take that water, and you spread it out over the area of the yard that you're going to be working in that season. And you do this a couple weeks before you put in the ground. And what it does is that bacteria sinks down into the earth, and any dead organic material that's buried down deep into the ground, it attaches to it and starts eating it. And it eats it fervently, very hard, and it eats it all up in those weeks' time. And the spot where that thing left, there's just so many. It opens up air pockets I've come after it. I did it once before, and I came after, and a couple weeks later, and I just put my hand straight into the ground. And this was just one time. They say to do it every several weeks to keep putting this stuff down. And I can't even imagine what would happen if I did it like I'm going to be doing with all this leaf mold. If I do it over a couple weeks' time, that soil is going to be amazing to work into. I mean, good for carrots, any root crops, anything is going to be great for it. That roots are going to be able to go straight down. So I plan on doing that here soon, and I'll make a video of that too. Well, I think that was a pretty long video, probably at least 15 or 20 minute video, and I hope I'm not boring all y'all too much. And I hope anybody who followed my channel at one time, or really just the people I'm going to be sending this to, all my friends and